I gave money to them a long time ago, not even on the street. I was just like, I'm donating to animals or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And now every time I walk by someone trying to talk to me about it, I'm like, I already give.
Good boys. La la la. La la la. Good boys.
We have a very Scooby-Doo type energy over here.
Yeah, we just have twists and turns, and we're not gonna let you know where they go.
Yes, exactly.
Just a windows glass apartment room, so I could see that.
Welcome to episode 9,
I think. Yeah.
of hashtag Good Boys Pod. I'm Owen.
I'm Max. Are we? Oh, we're
We
introduced-
never
We've
introduced
never done it
ourselves.
before. I was like, okay, Owen's taking
I
the
was
lead on
noticing
this.
that last episode. I'm like, we should probably say our names once.
It probably doesn't.
It probably doesn't hurt.
If you've listened to this
I mean,
far,
we're kind of famous now.
I mean, we have as many disciples as Christ. That's for sure.
12 on
We have
YouTube?
12 on YouTube, dude.
Oh my gosh, we have our disciples.
Yeah, so 4 of you need to write books, and no one will know which one's true. They'll all be close to each other.
I call. So we're both Jesus.
Yeah, there's 3 of him. There could be 2 of us, right?
3 of him.
Father, Son, Holy Ghost. Come on,
Oh,
the triumvirate.
you know
is
that
what it's
shit
called?
never ever made sense. Where it's like he's God, but he's the Son of God, and I'm like, but he's God. I don't know.
I'm gonna say this: we're not cracking it in our hour of dumb guys talk. You and I are.
Let's get to the bottom
Yeah.
of this.
All right, so we're in for some very deep.
Okay, I'm gonna do my tradition of moving my tech stuff away from the fish tank.
Oh, is that so you aren't judged by people who might see this?
No, I'm just worried that if you laugh like too hard, like this desk is not that stable. So
Oh,
I'm like,
this
what
is
if
more,
this gets hit and like water splashes?
and you're so funny that I might just break your fish tank. Is
Well.
what that was.
You never know.
I have an update for you that I'm very upset to bring.
Speak on it, King. Upset.
Should I was gonna say this should be a segment. Speak on it, King. Upset.
Yeah. Speak on it, King. Hashtag upset version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so all right, you sent me a woman's own. Okay, you sent me this song from this insane woman,
Mm-hmm.
and I was gonna get on the bus, and you're like, you literally go, if you don't listen to this in full, I might kill myself. It's like, okay, good, no
Yes.
press. All right, so I get on the M15 to go uptown to go home, and as I'm getting in the back, there's a couple who's in the back row of the bus, right?
Okay.
And the seat in front of them's open, except they've plugged their phone into the USB there. Do you know what I'm talking about? Where it's like in the back. And as I come forward, they go to unplug it. I'm like, you're fine. You can. I don't have to sit across it. I can sit in one. They go, no, ours is just broken. I go, it's fine. And then I hear them talk a little bit about, they're a little drunk, I hear, and she's like, I don't want to lose my phone. I go, where are you guys getting off? Like, they're not talking to me, but I'm like, I don't want to hear this for the next 20 minutes.
Yeah.
She's like, we're going to the last stop. I go, well, I got off at 96, so I'll just give it to you. Like, I will remember because I am not drunk, so I'll give you your phone then. Anyway, I'm sitting there, and they start arguing, and I put on a woman's own to get out of it.
To get you through this
to get
tough
through
time.
this hard time. But the argument had been like, he goes, come on, baby. And she goes, no, I already did. He goes, come on, baby, again. She goes, I already gave you one. And I'm just like, I don't want to be a part of this. A woman's own, right, in my ears. And I look to the guy who's, they're behind me right here. So I look to the guy who's in the same row as them back there, and we kind of make eye contact. And I can tell he's also a little miffed on what's going on. So then get to my stop. She'd taken her phone back. She said she wanted to deal with me not stealing it. And he's got his toboggan over his eyes. He's like this.
No.
And her head's in his lap.
No.
Yeah, dude. Full on. She'd already given him one, and he wanted another. That's what the argument had been about. She blew him at the back of the M15 bus.
Oh, my God.
And I'm just hearing a woman's own throughout it. That was a man's own right there.
So she's slobbing on his knob, and in your headphones, women must stand hand in hand.
Yeah, she could have used that, dude.
Wow.
I'll tell you the reason I didn't just know that's what was happening, because you like listening back, you're like, well, yeah, that's what it's leading to.
Yes.
No volume out of, because I didn't listen to the one song or something. I wasn't like so when I'm just on the bus, nothing. I just hear bus sounds, not any slob sound. It's like, well, you're going to be doing this for a while, dude. If you're just sitting there with it in your mouth like that.
They're relying on the bumps. It's like, what do they call it for Mormons? When you insert yourself in soaking.
Yeah, they were. That's the New York soaking. It's
That's
just
New
on
York's-
the bus.
You just put your mouth on it and wait for the bumps.
Oh my god, dude! I was so
good.
when I got off, I was like delirious. I had to
And
remember
how
how
about
to
when
get
he got
home.
off?
I think it was after I was gone. I was like, where am I? Like, I need to get out of here.
That is crazy. That's crazy.
I can't.
What time was it?
8 p.m. maybe. Yeah, it was still like adult times. You know what I mean? It wasn't insane people time yet. It was regular humans.
Well, I mean, I guess, how full was the bus?
Full. People were like getting up, getting out of seats, and more people were getting on.
I guess, and just nobody said anything or...
I mean, I'm not going to sit here and act like a hero. I didn't say anything.
Well, I guess, I mean, I wouldn't say anything, but also I feel like I wouldn't care that much.
The fact that they were
Go
as
do
close
your
as
thing.
we are and
Right,
behind me
that's-
is upsetting.
That's crazy. If they were like far away from me, I'd be like, whatever.
I didn't know it until I got. I had a feeling, but then I hear no head noises. I'm like, I've never given or received head without some head noise, you know.
Sure.
So I didn't hear that. So it's like, all right, maybe they fell
Well,
asleep.
I'm sure
They're
they
drunk.
were purposefully trying to be quiet.
Are you? Are you sure that's the call that couple makes? Because I'm not sure that's a decision they made.
Clearly, some good head.
They got
on
head
their shoulder.
protocol. But the fact he had his toboggan covering his eyes and then just he was starfishing.
Which is also wild because I feel like I would want to be alert. Which I guess wouldn't add to the sensation of a bus blowy.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I guess he's like, I don't even want to know if people are looking
Nope.
at me. I would be like,
No, we'll never have the confidence of this guy, for the record.
no.
I could be president twice. Never would have the confidence of this guy.
And it's true. And it's true.
So thanks
That's
for A Woman's
amazing.
Own for a fucking escape from that hell for a minute.
Can we talk a little bit about A Woman's Own?
Sure, we got to bring it up again.
The intro to A Woman's Own being kind of this minor, like, boom, 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 boom. And then last minute, bum, bum, bum. Where's it going to go? Where's it going to go? Women must stand, boom, 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 hand in hand. It's
Before we keep talking about
perfect.
this, just because you might not have heard it because it was last episode, an insane woman came up to Owen and said, I make music too. And then,
Well, first of all, she said, I'm a psychic,
oh, right.
and I'm a voice teacher, and I'm a comedian, and I'm a writer.
We're pretty sure she's Owen from the
She's
future.
me from the future. She was wearing a full head-to-toe cheetah print outfit, standing this close to my face, saying, you and the other gay kid with the curly hair, you were the only two on this lineup who could be on Broadway.
So she's got taste, at
She's
least.
got she knows what she's talking about a little bit.
And now she's my problem too. So
A Woman's Own.
I really do think that she'll be on your Spotify Wrapped, and I think you'll be upset when it happens.
You know, and I've consciously thought this, and I've stopped listening to it because I don't want that in my algorithm. I don't, like, you know, if I ever make it big one day, I don't need things coming out of the woodwork, skeletons in my closet.
Oh, dude, do you remember when do people actually do that, try to change their Spotify Wrapped at the end of the year?
I'm not, I don't.
Have you seen that, though, where they like want to have good Spotify Wraps? That's like a real...
It's so embarrassing.
It's so embarrassing until my roommate told me his number one song was from Has Been Hotel, and he's just a straight white guy.
What is Has Been Hotel?
Oh, it's like a cartoon for depressed bisexual women, basically.
Okay.
He literally his top
If you're a
song.
depressed bisexual woman, shout out to you.
Yeah.
We love
We-
you. We love you.
absolutely.
You're a friend of the pod.
You are a friend of the pod, and guys who have my body type, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But his number one's from a cartoon that's like, you know what I mean? He's like, I got to listen to real music. Can you?
So my Spotify Wrapped this year was the first time there's been a man in my top 5 ever.
Whoa.
His name's Slim Dan. He's like a TikTok indie songwriter guy.
Yeah.
Amazing lyrics. And this is the first year in 4 years that the Carpenters were not on. So Slim Dan replaced the Carpenters, which is kind of crazy.
Whoa. Yeah. Mine every year, have I told you I've been in the top 0.0001% for bare naked
Yes,
ladies?
you did tell me that.
Every year. And I don't know if I said it on here, but this year I was in the 0.001%. And it was because I spent 3 months without Spotify. I tried YouTube Music, and I still hit that number. So does that mean the other years I'm just number one? There's no way I get 2 more zeros without being number
I feel
one.
like they should tell you if you're number one.
I don't, because I think that would make you like feel like I gotta go to their house. Like I'm gonna show up and see what they're doing.
Right. The year Chromatica by Lady Gaga came out, that was 2020.
Mhm.
I used to put it on and run to the full album every day.
Whoa. You were a runner?
I still run sometimes.
Worst workout.
Oh, I hate it.
Yeah.
But
Lady Gaga.
I'd like to survive for as long as I can. This heart has to stay healthy. But I would listen to it, and this was during the pandemic, which it was like if I didn't do a single thing that day and I was like depressed or whatever, I would get out and run to this album. She saved my life. But I was in the top 0.01% of Lady Gaga
Whoa.
listeners.
That's
So
nuts.
that's crazy.
And that's 5 years ago, which I'm not saying she's falling off, but she was even bigger 5 years ago, probably.
I mean, she's having her moment right now with her new album release. Have you listened to it at all?
Mm-mm.
You should get into it.
Yeah.
I think you'd like it.
I might. You know, when I was in high school, I lost 50 pounds in about 40 days.
Mm-hmm.
For basketball. I did it listening to Ariana Grande's first album, just run into that every day. So I'm not here judging.
Oh God. You're gay.
Yeah, I'm okay.
I'm gonna put this gently. You're gay.
Survey says you're gay.
Number one answer. Wow.
Yeah, it was every day. Dude, so I had an insane high school basketball coach, right? He came to my school junior year.
Easier than the like sediment teacher or whatever.
The ag teacher?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. The stories were that he used to go shopping with his shoes so he could see what would stomp the loudest. Like we had guys that would play for. He was in the Ohio High School.
He wants to be loud?
Yes.
Okay.
He's in the Ohio High School Athletic Association Hall of Fame for coaching basketball, baseball, volleyball, and I think softball. Like he's old, like, vegetable farmer. And he, that's not a euphemism. I don't know what it would be for, but I meant that literally. But he
can farm my vegetables every day.
he used to have
I don't know what
players,
that means, but he's welcome to.
But he's welcome to it. His players that went in the military came back for our like hell week, of conditioning, and they told us I'd rather go through basic again than his hell week. It's like, all right, well, I'm gonna go ahead and lose a whole shitload of weight before we start. So yeah, I lost 50 pounds in like 40 days, and I still was miserable the entire time.
That sounds a little scary.
Oh yeah, dude, he was a.
Well, no, I mean losing that much weight in that time period.
Oh, I see. Yeah, it was a lot. I was running twice a day.
Have we talked about body dysmorphia on this podcast before?
I doubt it.
I certainly haven't.
Yeah.
Because I look back at old pictures of myself being like, I was literal skin and bones. Like, I could blow away at any moment. Like, I look like I've been a captive on a ship for years, like chained to one of the walls. At the time, I was like, I'm obese.
Oh, no.
Being like 170 pounds.
Yeah.
But I recently saw on a Facebook memory a day in high school that I dressed as like Ellen DeGeneres as a joke for something. I'm
As you
hilarious
do.
and I love a
Hey,
costume.
I don't know how to tell you this. You're gay.
I'm a lesbian. But I looked at this picture and I'm wearing this little like sweater vest and like slacks or whatever and a blonde wig. And I'm like, oh my God. How did no one like call someone to be like, this kid is severely underweight?
Oh my God, really?
Like I look stick thin in this picture. And I was back in the day, I was like, I'm the biggest person on planet. That's so weird. Why would my brain do that?
Yeah, high school's a weird time for your fucking body image, for sure.
Yeah. Well, then I wonder about that now because I feel insecure all the time, and I'm like, am I gonna look back at this period in my life too and be like, well, I wish I looked like I did back then. Not that I wish I looked like I was stick thin.
I've got a friend who's
she's
doing, but she's doing like she wants to do nudie pics. Like professionally, because she says she had older friends be like, I wish I could see what I look like when I was 20. I wish I'd have honored it. So she's like, yeah, I'm going to go do like a real photo shoot that is kind of like raunchy and it's not for anybody but me. It's like,
That's
all right,
fun.
well, maybe American Psycho having sex, looking in the mirror is what that's giving. But
I feel like I've seen that sentiment in movies or whatever where like an old lady gets an old box out of the corner.
her fucking tied up. I said like racy or like nudie pics,
Oh,
and
oh.
you're thinking nice ball gown. I'm like, no, she's in there with a ball gag and like tied up. When she's 85, like, man, I really had it.
I thought you meant like someone had tied her up and is showing her old pictures.
You
of
used to be
herself.
beautiful, old woman. Where's your strength now?
Where's my grandson? Save me.
Oh, we know the next sketch we're writing.
But
like
that's where
doing
it
drag.
starts.
Yeah, 100%. That's our base reality.
And then they fall in love. And then they sing a song.
Oh, of course, you're writing it,
Well,
so
they
yeah,
have
they
to sing
have
a
to.
song. I did first of all, last week I did 3 shows. I did this show where I met the Woman's Own lady, where I
course.
sang some beautiful music. Next day I did a sketch show, and then Sunday night I did like a PowerPoint presentation show.
Oh yeah, how'd that go?
It went great. Not like extremely well attended, but it was like a fun vibe. It was like kooky Sunday night. I put way more work into it than anybody,
Yep.
which I knew I was doing a little bit more, but I was definitely like, I have every single beat planned out. And most people were fucking around, but it was fun.
Yeah, that is cool.
And I do feel like I'm getting so much better.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, this thing was packed with jokes. It took me so much shorter than it used to take me to write it. I made the track in like a day.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Not to brag.
No, it's
But-
great. I tell you, I wrote one comedy song ever.
Really?
Yeah, it was about how women don't know how to flirt. That was all. That was the main premise. To it.
Okay. Can you give me a couple
I
lines?
could not remember it. No,
Oh,
I'd
oh,
also
oh.
need a guitar or something. But I just the one time I ever wrote, it was women don't have game. That was the whole premise of it.
Mm-hmm.
Not super original, but it's one.
I think it's fun.
Yeah.
Why not?
Because that's I guess you might not have this relationship with hetero women. Hetero women love to tell you how they have game. It's like their favorite thing in the world about how they
Oh.
can pick guys up.
Mm.
Our mutual friend told me that her move is to look at a guy and be like, should we kiss? End of story. That's her move. That's her move, how she gets guys.
Work.
I
bet it works.
it does, but it's not game. You're a pretty girl. You know what I mean? That's not game.
I was telling some straight people this recently. Where was I? Well, I can't remember where I was, but I remember I was talking to 2 straight men because we were talking about kind of like consent and how they were like at the end of the date it feels awkward to be like, can I kiss you? Which I agree. Who wants to
Right.
hear that and be like, yes. Yes, you can.
Of course.
You bought my picnic basket at the auction. Of course
Hey,
you can
doll,
kiss
I've had a
me.
wonderful time with you. Do you mind if we kiss?
Anyway, so
You had to shake that off for a second. Like, I got to get out of that world. I'm not a woman in the 60s. I'm Owen. It's 2025.
contrary to everything about me, and I told them what I used to do back in my dating days was at the end of the date, we're looking at each other, we're saying goodbye. I would say something like, I feel like we're about to kiss right now. And then they can be like, nope, which they never did. Or they can be all rizzed up because you're not being like, can I kiss you? Being like,
Dude. Oh, God, that's...
imagine me kissing a man.
Oh, dude. All right, so last night, come home, I went to the girlfriend's house and walked down with her. We live close to each other. And as we're going up, I messed up my knee deadlifting, and it's not bad, but it's like I'm not taking the stairs.
Right.
And there was a girl waiting for the elevator, and my girlfriend starts to go up the stairs, and I go, babe. And then she goes in, I go in the elevator, and my girlfriend doesn't come. I was like, perfect. That's not what I wanted to happen here.
Because it looks like you just called a random woman babe.
No, because now what's going to happen is my girlfriend's going to give me a hard time for getting in the elevator with a cute black girl who's not her.
Really?
Yes, like to be able to bust my balls in
oh,
front of
oh.
Steven. No, not in
Not
any real
actually
way.
to be upset
No,
about.
no.
'Cause I'm like, Max.
What's that?
That's what people are supposed to do if they're in a abusive relation. Like if you see someone on the street and you're like, it's supposed to let them know, like send help. Or
Oh,
whatever.
well, that's good to know. It's this apparently.
Sorry for making fun of it.
You didn't. You were trying to help.
Well,
But she did tell me last time was the first time she'd ever actually been jealous in her entire life.
I hate to say this and interrupt you,
Yeah.
but no one would believe you if you were walking down the street and you did that.
And I did
They'd
that.
be like, you?
You-
Her? She's hitting you? Like, Like, you absolutely
Where?
look like
How?
an abuser.
Yeah, 100%. This is abuser couture. I'm wearing Castle Blue Ribbon
I
on
mean,
my
come
chest,
on.
dude. No, it was very funny because I did not think anything of it. I just told the girl before I was going to, and I was like, I'm just being fat. I know I'm on cause she's on the 6th floor, I'm on the 3rd. But I get out, and the girlfriend goes, oh, she's going to laugh the whole way? I have to hear her laugh all 3 floors? I'd just been, It was maybe the funniest thing I've ever heard
So
was every time she goes,
funny.
looking
She
at
was-
me, making fun of the other girl.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because basically she goes, from the time the elevator closed till you came up, she was laughing. And she told me it was the first time she'd ever been jealous. I was like, baby, I can't turn it off. I don't know what to tell you. I'm not doing anything. It's more about
Interesting.
delivery. But,
Do you ever get jealous of her?
no. She said the N-word. I'm jealous of that. But
God.
you mean of people with her? No. She likes to go out, and I don't. In terms of like she
Mhm.
clubs and stuff, so she gets like done up and goes out clubbing. And I'm
Mhm.
like, I don't. That's not the favorite thing I have in my head
Right.
to think about. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I'm picturing her wearing like the same sequence top you would wear, but
Yeah, but I would pull it off.
sending that
Like
to her. I'm
you.
sending that to her. No, I don't ever think of it as like I've never seen her or heard her say anything that makes me jealous. It's more my insecurity when I don't know what's going on.
Sure.
You know?
Oh, well, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel similarly where my boyfriend likes to go out much more than I do. So, and I get, what's the word? I've never talked to him about this.
It's all right. He doesn't watch.
But I kind of make myself known where it's like, I get kind of anxious 'cause he's like a very impulsive drunk person, and I'm not worried about him like cheating or anything. I'm worried about him like just getting in a group of people's Uber to like go to the next location. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He's just adopted now by someone else.
Or not even by someone else, by like a group of nefarious people, or he gets mugged, or
Oh,
he's a
interesting.
little like la da 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 da
Yeah.
in a way that makes me nervous.
You're the practical one.
Of
That's incredible.
course.
What
Are
do you mean? Of
kidding me?
course, you're a very whimsical guy, as far as I can tell.
I'm very whimsical, but I never get like really drunk. I never take any kind of drugs. I'm always aware and alert.
We should do that. When our first subscriber writes a book about us, we should get high as fuck on camera.
Okay.
Roll Molly or something.
I mean, I won't. I famously used to smoke a lot of weed in high school.
Right.
And now can't do it at all. But I've never tried any other drugs.
So I didn't drink till I was 18.
Mhm.
I didn't smoke until I was 26.
I have to interrupt you.
Go ahead.
I love the Carpenters, and I've never taken any drugs. I'm going to white boy prison.
Yeah,
Terrible. That's okay.
I've done
who I am.
I've done mushrooms 3 times.
Oh, I did do mushrooms once.
They're so
I take
fun,
it back.
right?
I did it last summer.
They're a good time.
I barely felt it.
Should take more. I have done mushrooms 3 times. Oh, this is such a gay story. Okay, I go to take.
We'll add it to the fucking list.
Yeah, dude, the evidence.
we're gonna submit it to evidence for gay court. And you're gonna have a gay hearing with a gay judge.
Well, and the makeup will be on point for the wig and shit. They'll look great.
Well, and then you'd be pronounced guilty?
Fabulous.
Oh my god. See, and that's what makes you straight.
Yeah,
is that
for
you
sure.
would say that you would say that.
Yeah, I don't know what else you'd want me to call it. I don't want to know. What would you say? It'd be pronounced.
Gay. Gay people don't say fabulous.
No, I know.
That's why Elton John isn't gay.
Well, I would have said another
Let's call back
FA
to
word, but
it.
I thought you'd be mad at me. But now pronounced. Can't find it.
Fart.
Well, it was first time
What were
I
we talking about?
the first time I did mushrooms.
Okay.
Went to like
You sucked a big dick.
back to Ohio because I knew I wanted to try them. And so my best buddy from growing up, right up the block from me. We were in a band together and went during the pandemic. Like, we're real close, and he's a big time drug guy. So he's one I feel like I can do drugs with, and he will Sherpa,
Mhm.
So we're gonna do mushrooms, go there, and we're sitting at his house, and we get to the point that like we're kind of nonverbal, not physically can't, but just kind of we start playing guitar together,
Oh,
and it was
love.
adorable, right? And we we're
Yeah.
just like both playing acoustic back and forth, and it just
Parallel play.
yeah, exactly. Well, and it felt like we went through our whole like relationship. Do you know what I mean? Like the whole, because he was there. My dad had passed young. I was there when his mom died, and all this different stuff. And it just felt like you know, we had like walked into every room in our relationship over the course of an hour of playing together on guitar. And like I was like crying while we're doing it, and then I'm coming down from we're talking about it, and I said that he's like, "Yeah, dude, that was so gay." I had to look away. It's like I didn't want to laugh at you.
You know, that makes me think of my best friend from growing up. Like we met each other in 6th grade, and we've been friends ever since. Only in the past like year or so has our relationship taken an extremely sappy turn.
Oh.
And I do feel like I'm getting so soft in my old age. Like I used to be so like offensive and cutting and I don't care about anything. And now I'm like, I care about everything. I'm crying every other day. But now whenever her and I get drunk together, like hang out together, we always end up being like, I love you. You're one of my best friends. I'll be your friend till the day I die. And I'm like, where did this come from? We used to only call like we text each other on holidays, just the most offensive things we can possibly think of and say like, happy birthday, you stupid cunt, kill yourself or something. And now we're like,
you mean so much to me.
What? Anyway. I just don't know why that turn has happened. I feel that way about movies, too. I never used to cry at movies, ever.
Yeah.
And now I can't see a movie without crying. I'm also slapping my leg every fucking second. It's because I had a huge, giant honking cold brew before
Nice.
this.
Just wide awake.
And I think that's my trick to being amazing. Because I'm being hilarious right now.
Right? Sorry, so I got 2 more for you. Mushrooms by myself, fell asleep. That was fun. The 3rd time, it was me and a friend from out of town, black friend, guy.
Brag.
I'm just, because you don't have any, I'm just letting you know that I do.
Well, if
And-
there's anyone interested, I don't do drugs and I listen to the Carpenters.
Well, but we decided to go to the Museum of Sex.
I do have black friends.
Couldn't even let it
I
go.
couldn't let it go.
He's such a good boy.
I'm a
You
good
have to
boy.
know
You have
he's
to
a good
believe
boy.
me.
Well, we went to the Museum of Sex rolling our faces, dude, on these, just tripping on mushrooms, because he wanted to go, thought it'd be funny. I'd never been. I was like, fuck it. So we get in there. Have you been before?
No.
All right, well, spoiler for the Museum of Sex. First of all, don't go on mushrooms. You go in the beginning is like a regular museum where they've got like all sorts of like different sex toys and implements throughout the ages and like
That's fun.
you know what I mean? Like it just is kind of a standard museum, right? Which, you know, haha, dildo, whatever, haha, they got a little penis cage. Right, that's what it feels like. And then we go in, and it's a huge screen that's like a 180 circle,
Okay.
and they do like an animated voiceover-y, like epic style thing talking about the origin of Carnival, about carnivals and how people would let loose and all that. And we are in there not able to hold it together because it's like,
Laughing.
it's insane how stupid this is. And all these little, you know, Beckys and Johns who are sitting next to each other, these white people from out of town, these, let's be adventurous, babe, these like white couples,
Sure,
right?
they're going there to get riled up and then go have sex after.
Yes, but like without enough lube or foreplay. Do you know what I mean? Like that kind of couple. And we're sitting here, and I
And they
turn,
never talk about it and immediately turn away from each other and go right to bed.
read their books on
He
iPads.
falls asleep immediately. She kind of looks wistfully out the window, dreaming of what might have been if she actually tried it in college.
Yes, that couple. And so I turn to my friend and go, this was a fucking mistake. and he's crying, going, it was a mistake, like laughing his ass off. And it's, you know, whole big thing, right? And then at the end, the door opens behind you, and you're welcome to Fantasyland or some shit. And it's like, so it's like a whole hallway that's like a mirror, and it's like a little like 6
God.
whatever. And there's places you can like stick your head in, you're in the exhibit, and you move to the next one, your head's up, you know what I mean, like into the wall or whatever.
That sounds crazy.
It's kind of cool, but we're sitting there and everyone's like, we had sat in the back on purpose, and now we got to fucking go first. We're like,
oh God.
go ahead, you guys go. Like just losing our shit
Yeah.
as they're, and they go, and we're going to walk across, and the woman who works there, she looks at us. You guys can go. We're like, okay. She goes, what do you got me scared of, baby? You all right? And Justin, she goes, what are you scared of? And Justin goes, they're going to be dicks in there. And she goes, yeah, there's going to be dicks in there.
This is the Museum of Sex.
Yeah, it's what so
the Whitney's around the corner.
Is that a lesbian joke?
No.
Okay,
It's
I don't
a
know.
museum.
Oh, the Whitney, I'm not.
It's like an art museum.
Oh, okay. But he had thought, because it's like this, you go stand and your head's like in whatever little exhibit. It's like adult
And you thought
dioramas.
there's gonna be like
He thought it was going to be like a giant sponge dick like hitting you or something. I don't know. It's what his brain thought. He was like worried he's going to be getting punched with a dick. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
he didn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we just went through the whole.
Well,
And there's like it's like a fucking, there's a bouncy house made of titties.
that's fun.
Yeah, but we were just tripping our balls off while these people were like really trying to like expand their minds. And like the two things that really got us were, one, there's a little stop motion animation called The Sex Life of Robots. It's about 4 minutes long and it's really good. It's like really funny and interesting. But we watched it for about 25 minutes, just loop over and over. Because the thing that was getting us was it was framed as a documentary with a guy, like with a little metal guy doing his thing. And just every time he come up, like, I'm fucking getting it. I'm getting all the footage I can, dude. Like, could not stop laughing at it.
Uh-huh.
You go into a, I can't remember the guy's name, but there's some artist that you'll know his name of. Oh, God, gay. Video. Famously in like the 60s, 70s sexual revolution-y time.
Are you talking about John Waters?
No, I know who that is. Oh my God, he was more. Either way, his
Not Keith Haring.
no. You should go for
Heron?
less knowledgeable. Whatever you think is too obvious, that's going to be who it is.
What?
Who did the soup cans?
Andy Warhol.
Might have been Andy Warhol. That sounds right. But whatever it was, it's the video is 45 minutes of a guy getting a blowjob, but the camera is on the head of the guy giving it. So it's just POV, you watch a guy get a head. And I was like, I don't like being here. I don't like tripping while I'm, this is too much for me. Whatever the fuck is going on right now. This feels like I'm getting put in hell to watch just this guy's face as he's getting blown, you know?
His face.
Yeah.
I feel like it's hard to look at the face when you...
Well, it might be, so like, it was definitely
I guess
from...
you do like glances here and like here. You do like glances here and there to check in, make sure it's going
Yeah.
well.
But
Otherwise my eyes are mostly closed.
you're praying.
Well, it's about my relationship to God.
Yeah.
I'm saying why
Allah,
am I
please.
doing this?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Allah. But no, it's more like, I don't think it was directly on the dude's head, but it was angled up, and you're basically seeing from here up, and he's definitely looking down at you. So it's like,
Okay.
anyway, I'm tripping my balls off.
Sounds
like
hot.
it was not for me. But anyway, it was fun. Yeah, so him do mushrooms, go to the Museum of Sex. It was fucking terrifying and hilarious in alternating quantities.
The only time I did mushrooms was last summer at a little campfire in Maine. And I didn't really do enough to feel that much. But as I was going to bed that night, I do feel like my mind was kind of like in a slightly different place.
Yeah.
I had a little vision of this this little girl who had like regular hands, feet, and head, but the rest of her body was made of roots. And I was like moved by it. She was beautiful.
Yeah.
So I think something worked. I don't usually get visions in my mind.
That's yeah, that's what I like heard was it doesn't matter, like the trip doesn't matter. It's what you bring back with you. Which is also the truth on vacation and stuff too. Like I actually believe that in life. Like the time over there isn't as important as what you can bring back to what you actually feel every day.
Sure.
And then there's this girl I know who works at it's like the Brooklyn Psychedelic Collective, and she posted something that was like psychedelics and revolution or psychedelics and resistance. I was like, shut the fuck up. I've told you this, but I hate all these people that are in our age group that talk about the revolution like the rapture.
We've talked about it.
It drives me nuts.
Me and McKenna always say, not everyone can be the revolution DJ. Some of you got to learn how to cook. You be a farmer. Put the record down.
Well, my thing is, who do you want to be mayor? If you can't tell me that, shut the fuck up. You
That's
don't care about
true.
politics.
I want that new guy.
Zoran Mamdani.
I signed the petition
What petition?
to get the guy on the ballot.
Then you're not thinking of the same guy I am. Who is it?
I don't remember his name.
Well, Zoran is a Democratic Socialist who's running,
Work.
who's in the primary. Anyway, he's awesome.
I'm registered. I'm gonna.
Are you
do my
registered as a Democrat? Because you have.
Yeah.
I'm saying you have to be to do the primary. All
Yeah.
right. I've been thinking about that.
Oops.
Well, we can talk about it on mic, I guess. But I'm working on a binder right now. It's got a bunch of pre-addressed envelopes to the the election board and a
Mhm.
bunch of registrations to vote, so that after shows I can just tell people to register. If
I
you
love that.
don't want to do it on your phone, because you can do it on your phone in 10 minutes, but if you don't want to put your stuff on my phone, here's all the stuff. I'll go with you to the mailbox right now.
I love that idea.
There's no
I'm
reason
gonna
not
copy
to.
you.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, that's a wonderful idea.
We should start a theater company. I'm not.
Triggered. I love at the end of episodes of Drag Race,
Mhm.
they all like dance around in the runway at the end to one of RuPaul's songs, and RuPaul
makes music?
yeah, it's terrible.
That
But
makes
it's
sense.
great.
Okay, great. I also got to prove I'm not actually gay. I don't know RuPaul makes music. I need my
You've
straight
never heard
bona fides.
Sissy That Walk? Now, Sissy That Walk. Bum, ba-dum, bum,
No.
ba-dum, bum, bum, ba-dum, bum. It's a good one.
Okay.
And
Anyway,
then
end of the.
peanut butter. Peanut butter. Peanut butter. Peanut butter.
I don't know what you mean by terrible. I can tell from your rendition it's amazing.
They're great, but some of them are really bad.
Okay.
Um,
Do they put up how to vote at the end?
yeah, they have like a QR code that's like register to vote here, and I don't know. He always says something about voting, which I appreciate.
Yeah, I like the thing that annoys me are the people that don't want to vote. It's like it is not the means. It is not the be all end all. It is the minimum. Like everyone's
Yeah.
like, I don't vote because I want to. Okay, what else do you do? When's the last time you went and delivered
Right.
food? When's the last time you put salt or sugar in a cop's car? Because sugar will destroy an engine. It's easy to do. Just dump it in the gas. But like, when's the last time you did any of that? When's the last time you
Right.
went and stole something and gave it away? Like, it really just
yeah,
nuts. The
you're
people that
vigilante,
Right, whatever
don't
you wanna
trust
do a
the
revolution,
system.
okay.
I hate that shit.
make a community meal.
I hate it.
I'm here for it. Have I told you my cop stories? I don't know if I want to put these on video.
Maybe we'll hold off.
They're pretty good.
Well, you can tell me later.
Okay. I just don't deal with. I oink at cops on the subway now.
I have a funny cop story.
Hit me.
My dad, someone broke into my dad's garage. I was in middle school at the time. Gay as hell. Couldn't have been gayer. No, maybe I was a freshman in high school.
In which case, could have been slightly gayer.
Impossible. I was gayer then than I am now.
Impossible. No.
Well, now I'm like kind of quirky, like offbeat gay. Back then I was like rainbow flag gay.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Gotta catch 'em all. Every type of gay.
And there are many.
Yeah.
We've got categories. Straight people don't have categories.
They do.
Okay, what would you be called? You wouldn't be a bear 'cause that's a gay word.
It's a gay word. You can't have it.
You can't use that.
Me, I would be country, probably.
Oh.
Right?
I get what you
Or
mean.
powerlifter or WWE. Those would all be straight adjacent words people would give me.
I
You know?
see. But it's not quite the same.
What do you mean?
A bear is like a hairy, large, gay man. Boom. But if you could be like a WWE type.
So I'm sorry. So we're more discerning in our groups. I don't just fit into one, and that's bad.
I'm not saying it's bad or good. I'm just saying it's true. What was I talking about?
How gay you were in 8th grade when a
Oh
cop,
my
when
God,
a,
I'm
you
so
had
gay.
a cop fantasy.
So my dad had a garage that got broken into, and he called the cops to make a report about it, at least, or whatever. Then he like goes.
He goes, hey, I got this real homo 8th grader out there making art projects and singing Madonna.
He like goes to do something. I'm at home with my friend, and we're making fudge. We're like
Not a euphemism.
no, we're like baking fudge. Like
Okay.
I got some kind of kit. We're making all different kinds of fudge.
Okay.
I'm wearing, something gay. I'm like 14 years old, and I'm the only person home.
Mm-hmm.
And the cop knocks on the front door and is like, "Hi." I didn't know the cop was coming.
Yeah.
I'm like, hi, how can I help you?
Hey, officer.
And he's like, oh, I'm here 'cause there was a break in the garage. I didn't know there was a break in the garage. I'm like, all right, just come on in, do whatever you need to do. Like, I don't know. And I'm like, do you want some fudge? And he's like, no. I mean, of course not.
No.
Of course not. But it was terrible. My face is bright red. This happened like 10, 15 years ago. Whew.
That's solid. You're just trying to be nice and don't know how to
I
interact
don't-
with the
like,
cop?
I was not terrified, but like it was like I'm the only person home. This man has a gun. He's walking into my house. I'm making fudge.
Dude, have you watched Adolescence on Netflix yet?
I've heard of it, but it looks like pretty serious.
Yeah, it is. It's so good.
I don't watch
I've
serious
watched.
stuff.
I don't watch anything anymore. Like I hardly ever am watching anything on Netflix or stuff. But I really like the actor, the father. You should watch it. I'm not saying this is a
Okay.
process of like, oh, so it's an amazing show. It does such a good job of depicting like complexity in a way. Like to me, I come away from the first episode like no one could watch this and not hate the police. Like I literally come away thinking that. But then second episode I'm watching, you're following more the police, less the people that they're investigating, and you start to see like kind of their
Ooh.
point of view. It's really good.
I like that.
But can I tell you the opening to like give you the pitch?
Yeah.
The opening is they're in England. It's two cops, two investigators, and they're basically kind of preambling to go interrogate somebody. He calls his son, one of the cops. Anyway, they break down the front door with a battering ram with a bunch of armed police officers, and there's a woman, her husband, their daughter, and their 13-year-old, and they like tell them all to get on the ground and shit. They arrest a 13-year-old for murder, and I mean they burst into this room. The kid literally pissed himself. Like the dad is freaking out. Like he's 13. He's 13. Like what are you doing? Anyway, it's an incredible like shocking thing to go like he's just, even though he's also still just a suspect. Anyway, it's one of the. You don't know anything about the murder. You just know that like he's being charged, and that's what they're following is whether or not he did it and what happened. It's crazy. I don't watch anything. I don't recommend much anymore because I don't watch anything. But you should watch that instead of our podcast. I got to make sure we get a good rec in.
We gotta wreck something else. I mean, who are we other than just the media we consume?
Yeah.
Whether that be, or I guess just the things we experience. This is besides the point. I don't know if I'll watch that. Sounds like I'm gonna get sad. Uh-oh.
I get that. Better avoid any negative emotions.
Oh, of course.
Are you a politics is downstream from culture? Have you ever heard that? That's the Rupert Murdoch thing.
Explain it to me.
Just that.
Explain it to me like I'm 5.
Most things I say, I try to do that. No, that's a right
Do you
wing
want
thing.
any fudge?
It doesn't matter. I think more people should be exposed to stuff they don't like.
Sure. But I feel like I'm pretty well-rounded.
Yeah.
I think tonally I'm not going to enjoy it.
Oh, I see. One crazy thing that is like I didn't notice until the first episode's almost over. It's only 4 episodes, about an hour long each. No cuts. Whole thing is single take.
Whoa.
And it's like
that's awesome.
it adds something to it
Of
in this course.
course.
It's not just oh, how impressive. I didn't notice until 45 minutes in.
Yeah.
I'd recommend it just from that perspective
cool.
of the craft of it and
Yeah.
also the kind of people that are getting shown are not people that I think get shown very often. They're investigating like middle school kids. Shut your face
I
again.
struggle with this.
We got to get you a
I
mic
need
stand
my mic
again.
stand.
But yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I've been watching some stuff.
Anything good?
I've been watching classic films.
Okay.
I watched His Girl Friday. It's like an old black and white comedy
Okay.
about it's kind of a convoluted premise. I guess they all were back then. And I've been very inspired by these classics lately because of the writing does all of the heavy lifting, because they're not having these crazy sets and green screens and so it's like they all feel like they're so out of the like Eugene O'Neill playwriting tradition of like we're going to put these people in a room and drama's going to happen.
Yeah.
And it's all about the relationships, and it's inspiring to me from a writing standpoint. This one was about like 2 reporters who were married briefly and then divorced because she didn't get enough time paid attention to her because he was too focused on the paper, and he's like, but you love the paper too, and like she was going to move away, and then he gets her like wrapped back up in a big breaking story. And it was great.
Yeah.
I recommend it. I feel like these classic movies, I'm always like fucking in it. Whereas if I see like the Avengers or something, I'm like, which most people I feel like are probably the opposite.
Yeah. I heard it described as the reason our movies are so different than British stuff is because Broadway and Hollywood are so far apart, but in England, they're right next to each other. Like their films grew out of their plays.
Sure.
And for us, that's not what happened. They went to the far side and it kind of came out of farcical stuff. And they have talking pictures. We have movies.
Right.
Two different things, you know.
Well, this was an American film.
Right, but yes,
But
but
I
I'm
get
saying
what
it
you're
developed
saying.
past that. Like when it first
Yeah,
started,
yeah,
you're
yeah.
gonna have all your playwrights, all your people, the ones who can do it. But then that pipeline kind of broke.
Sure. And then I watched Chinatown, the Roman Polanski movie. Do you know about Roman Polanski?
Yeah,
I just found all of this out.
pretty well-rounded guy.
The story's crazy.
Oh yeah,
Like how he was like pled guilty to raping a 13-year-old girl, still made movies in the US, and then the next time it happened is when he fled.
yeah,
What?
yeah, dude. That's
Also, I mean, not to spoil Chinatown, but the evil guy who rapes people wins at the end of this film.
does he really?
Yes.
So it's more really a hero's journey kind of
really-
situation.
I mean, and it almost feels like commentary if you didn't know the background, being like, rich guys always fuck people over or whatever.
Yeah.
But then, like, watching it with all the context, I'm like, does he think that guy's the hero? The evil villain who everyone hates? I don't know.
He's just misunderstood. Dude, I don't want to get into Roman Polanski.
I mean, I don't know that much. I read the Wikipedia page. That's about it.
It's fair. There's just they've tried to bring him back. You know, people there have been big time movie actors and directors you would like probably that have signed petitions to have him back for his Lifetime Achievement Award or whatever.
No.
Right. Agreed. But I'm saying like it's disappointing to look into stuff like that.
Yeah, totally.
You know, Quentin Tarantino's wife, he's a Zionist. It's a bummer. His wife's from Israel. I had some idiot come up to me on the street. It was someone who was working a street team, right? Like one of the trying to talk to you, trying to get you to sign a paper or whatever they wanted. And she comes up to me and the direct quote was, let me see. It was, yeah, hey, my boss told me to ask a nice guy. Are you a nice guy?
You giving me an easy out.
Nope. I sure am not.
You're not going to shame me.
There's no, you think that had no fucking pride. No, I'm not nice. Kill yourself. Bye. Like, I'm not stopping.
You know, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
I gave money to, what's it called? The animal
The
one?
the ones that like to eat animals, those guys? the place that's bullying kids into conversion therapy. That's the one you gave
That's
money
what
to?
I
Right,
gave
right,
to.
of course.
No,
So it works so well for you.
I can't think of the name of it.
ASPCA?
ASPCA. I thought of it first.
Okay.
I gave money to them a long time ago, not even on the street. I was just like, I'm donating to animals or whatever.
Mhm.
And now every time I walk by someone trying to talk to me about it, I'm like, I already give.
That's so
And
good.
they're like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. I gave like $25
Once?
8 years ago. But
Oh.
technically I do. I already give.
when I
I give.
when I moved to New York, did I tell you when I came up here overnight on a bus to interview for jobs?
Yeah.
Yeah, one of them got me to do street team stuff. They wanted me to save the pandas. I was like, I want the pandas to save me. I got no interest in these dudes. I was in the Upper East Side yesterday and saw a dog with a wheelchair, and I got so mad. I was like, have you ever helped a human, do you think, as much as you're putting money into that dog? All of them. And every animal charity until we just stop having billionaires. How about that?
I get what you mean. Prioritize.
Yeah, the things that matter. Back on the, like, are you a nice person? I don't know why it made me think of this, but the word confidence man is because the first, like, known use of that was a person, it was in New York, guy would come up and say, are you confident in your fellow man that if you gave me your watch, I'd be back here tomorrow to give it back to you? And the social pressure around
yes,
that.
of course
Of
I would.
Well, of course, boy.
Well, who do you take me for?
Yeah. They'd take it,
Never come
never
back.
come back, and it became a confidence trick. That's con man. That's where that comes from.
Honestly, that's so slay.
That's amazing, right?
That's so cunty.
But it's like, yeah, you're going to ask me if I'm a nice person, motherfucker. This is not the 1912s. No, I don't. You're not getting my watch. I'm not talking to
got
you.
'em good. I love that.
It's great. I'll tell you about it off here, but I have a movie I wrote. I guess I didn't finish it, but I've got like an outline for a movie I want to do that's about confidence tricks because I read during the pandemic, this awesome autobiography by a guy named Joseph the Yellow Kid Weil. Joseph Weil was his name.
Okay.
I read it on some archive.org or whatever, but he was a con man around the turn of the 20th century, around in the 1900s, and he was based in Chicago, and his thing was I would go rob people anywhere else. Like I'd go trick people, and his thing was I only ever trick people that were trying to scam other people. So like his big thing, like
Sure.
the easy one is he comes into town he looked for a factory that's of disrepute around the time of the wars, and he would basically not so subtly imply he was working with the people on the other side of the war, and that they wanted to rent this factory. They wanted to buy the factory from you, and it was a piece of shit factory. And he'd get whoever owned it. They usually at the bank, right? Would come in, like, oh, this is perfect. We can't do it over the phone, so my partner's gonna go talk to him, and that guy would fuck off. And then when he hung out for a couple weeks, he'd get to be friends with them. Losing it? Am I losing you?
Yeah.
He basically, he would basically.
Not that it's boring. It's just like this is like when someone tries to explain the rules of a board game, and your ears just shut off immediately.
So he'd basically do a scam in front of a bank owner.
Okay.
In front of him, he'd like go. He'd say,
Explain it to me like I'm 5.
he'd go, hey, this guy's got a piece of paper worth $1 million. He only thinks it's worth $10,000. We're gonna go buy it. So can you help me get there? He'd do it. He'd turn around, fake buy it from his friend, fake sell it to another friend, make like $500,000 profit.
I see.
And then the guy who went with him, be like, you know anybody else that has those pieces of paper? Because they would pretend that they found oil and they hadn't told the person yet,
Right.
until the person that was the target could bug the scammer into taking him to another. Like, yeah, I don't have the money for it. You know, this one's going to cost $400,000. I only have $200,000,
see.
so we'll go half and half. Get the money, do it, and then fuck off and go back to Chicago.
Yeah.
And he's like, and his thing was, yeah, people would learn their lesson. He said,
Mm-hmm.
it's like it was that people were too ashamed to admit that they'd been taken advantage of.
Well, okay. Podcast rec coming at you.
Hit him.
Scam Goddess,
Okay.
Lacey Mosley's podcast. She's a famous like LA improviser. She every week like dives into like a famous con artist
Cool.
from history. And they like her team prepares like a big like essay about it, and she like reads it, and they do commentary like comedy throughout. But it's amazing, and she calls it, what does she call it? I forget. But it's like we should all be talking about the times that we've been scammed or taken advantage of, even if it feels a little bit embarrassing, 'cause
Yeah.
that's how all the scammers get away with it.
Yeah, that's the trick.
Yeah.
I liked this guy 'cause he said he never scammed somebody who wasn't trying to scam somebody.
Well,
that was
that's-
his thing.
That's what they say on the show as well, is like, if you scam up, you're the people's hero.
Yeah.
It's when you scam down that you're the lowest, shittiest person on the planet.
Yeah. I can't remember what it was. It was one where he literally was at a traveling medicine show, like that level of
Yeah.
like, and it was something where he would
Snake oil.
yes, but he would like the thing that they were really trying to do was he'd wear a nice watch or something or nice glasses, and he would get it to be like, hey, I found these, and whoever was willing to claim them, he would say, well, I'll give them to you for $40 or something like that. Like it was his own piece of shit thing.
Right.
Or the money printer was another scam. It's like, I can only print $100 a day 'cause it takes so much time for it to go through, and it would just be preloaded with like $200, and they charge like $600 for it, and then just leave 'cause they thought they had an infinite money hack.
Oh
Right
my
there.
God.
It's so good, right?
I don't understand how anything happened back in the day.
Like anything was accomplished.
Or it's just like things were so like detached from, like, you could be a criminal so easy back then.
Yeah,
Who took advantage of it? Everyone was, I guess some people did.
yeah.
But like the famous, like,
And now their names are on buildings.
that's true. Well, I mean, you've heard about Donald Trump's father.
No, did he do something?
I mean,
Is he famously for anything?
are you joking? Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
Well, I
I
learned
thought he just like worked with immigrants and helped them get jobs. Right? He's just a wealth creator.
I learned about him in the Coney Island Museum.
'Kay.
Because famously the first amusement park in the country was in Coney Island.
Mm-hmm.
And it was on this plot of land that Donald Trump's father bought.
Okay.
And then he demolished it. Duh.
Yeah.
'Cause condos have to go there. We got to put condos there.
Yeah.
And the like board of Coney Island made it like a historical district or I don't know, something like that, to stop him from putting these giant condominiums in.
Right.
So then he, I don't know, I didn't forget exactly what happened, like declared bankruptcy or something, and dug a giant pit where it used to be, so that nothing could be built on top of it, and abandoned the land forever. So now next to like Coney Island is this giant pit of nothingness because Donald Trump's daddy threw a temper
His little
tantrum
fit, yeah.
and dug a giant pit and was like, well, if I can't build condos here, then no one
No one can have
anything.
anything.
How crazy is that?
It's crazy.
They hate him down there.
I can't imagine. New Yorkers not liking a Trump? That doesn't sound.
One of our native brothers.
Native, yeah, one of our own. One that we all claim.
And what's going on with that?
What do you mean?
I just don't understand. I mean, of course I'll never understand, really. But I just don't get how someone from the middle of America is like, that guy cares about me. Where it's like the rich New Yorker with the golden toilet. Aren't you guys supposed to hate Yankees? He's like the definition of a Yankee.
It's pretty old school, the hating Yankees thing. That's not really a thing anymore. Middle of the country was after the Civil War, so they don't have that. That's the South specifically.
What?
Hating Yankees is a Southern thing.
But
from
you know what I'm fucking talking about, you stupid bitch?
No, I actually think people are pretty
I just-
dismissive on his selling points to them,
Oh.
which is he gives them a real lens through which to view the bad things are happening. Right?
Mm.
Immigrants and liberals hate you, and they are not going to help
Well,
you.
yes.
So it's not good, it's not right, but he gives them a very clear, I've been successful. What I care about is my country, and me being successful will lead you. I'm a businessman president. I am going to help you because it's good for all of us. Do you know what I mean? Like he gives a very convincing pitch.
I do get that, but I don't know. Like, I'm, of course, not sold on it.
Right.
So it's crazy to me to think that, you know, these average... I mean, I'm an average middle American, basically. But to think that, like, he's sold them this dream while he's, like, completely the opposite of
Right.
what they are in its core
Yeah. Well, also,
is mind-boggling to me.
there's a couple things there, too. One, it's a big religious component. A lot of conservatism is they just want a daddy. And he's a big, strong daddy. That's a real thing, right? They want hierarchy.
I know.
And the other one is... I mean, I think the other thing is, like, he was branded so effectively as an outsider. Both sides hated him so much.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the Democrats' big problem was not going, hey, he's just a Republican. He's better at it, but just don't ever say MAGA again. If you're a Democrat, never say the word MAGA. It is Republicans. They are the same. He's been president twice, so but he's branded by that. All the regular Republicans hate him. It's pretty easy to go, well, yeah, he's fighting for us. Look how much they fucking hate him. Look at how much people have been fucking us for 40 years, right? Since NAFTA in the 90s. Like, even before that. But I'm saying, like, the average person who pays a little bit of attention, that's a big signal there, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And he only won this time because of depreciated turnout. He didn't win
Yes.
new people. Kamala lost more people than he lost.
Yeah.
That's the difference, you
Mhm.
know? So I'm not defending him. I just, when that stuff comes up, I do get a little bit of like, let's get outside of our New York bubble. Let's remember, like, there are people who are facing worse things than, you know, in terms of, like, someone getting deported means nothing to someone who has 2 kids that they aren't able to feed, right? And so they don't think about that.
Totally agree. I was just thinking his image to me is, like, so comically, like, Batman villain that I just don't know how people fall for the smoke and mirrors.
That makes sense.
Wizard of Oz.
It is funny
vibes.
the level of, like, what people can so every time I see a stage anywhere, I go, I wonder what's under that. I wonder who was too lazy to move a box out from under that. And that's only because I've worked in entertainment. I think,
Totally.
like, that's not, you know, whatever. How many rats' nests of wires are behind that podium right now?
Mhm.
Whereas if you've never done that, why would you ever think that? You're like, wow,
I know
he looks
exactly what you
strong up there.
mean. Yeah. Oh, I know exactly what you mean.
I tell you that Steven texted me. Got him the stagehand job, right? And like 2 months later, he goes to some live wrestling event, and he sends me a picture of all the truss up, with all the lights. And he goes, God, how much do you think that costs? And I was kind of talking to him, texting. He goes, there are half-naked women body slamming each other, and I'm texting you about lights. What did you do to me?
I do the same thing now after having this job. Every time I go to a theater, I immediately look at the light board. I'm like, what are we working with here?
It's great, dude. It's. I like seeing that. I've always enjoyed getting deeper into that. Pause. Getting deeper into it. Oh.
What's next on your little
What's
list,
next on my
dear?
little list? What's on yours, dude?
What time? How long
how
have we
are
been
we
going?
doing? A little less than an hour.
We
We're
could
doing
do
pretty
one
good.
more topic.
Yeah. I don't know that we need to.
Let's do one more topic.
All right. So I learned this week there's
No, you're right. We
there's
should.
a YouTube channel called Atun Shea, ATUNSHEI, and he was a reenactor dork. He worked in Salem or whatever. So he's kind of more your flavor than mine, I think. But he used to do this thing called Checkmate Lincolnites that was really fun, where he would dress up as a Confederate soldier and a Union soldier, and he would read specific comments people had posted, and that was called like Checkmate Lincolnites, like about Sherman's march to the sea, and then he would be as the Union guy, like give it more depth and answer it. But he retired that recently because he was like done everything I can with the Lost Cause myth, and it was interesting. I like him. I'd go watch him because they're funny, and informative. He just started doing stuff with the American Revolution, and it was really interesting. I didn't know that before Lexington and Concord or whatever the first two were. I don't know. But before that, they were like putting people in jail in America. Like before the revolution started, we had a court system and jails we were using. We were already starting to govern ourselves. Somebody talks about how every revolution that's ever been successful has other power structures outside of it.
Right.
And that was just interesting because, like, of course, that wasn't taught to us. It was the British came and we tried to fight them off, and that's how it started. But they had already been pissy.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's just a good YouTuber.
That's interesting. You know, my boyfriend watches a ton of these like YouTube info, like 20-minute deep dives. And I watched one with him recently that was like about Staten Island, and before it was declared part of New York or New Jersey, like they were fighting over who gets it. And what they did was they had a sailboat race around Staten Island to decide the winner, and the winner would get it.
That's awesome.
Isn't that fucking
That's
crazy?
so sick.
We need to go back to that sort of thing.
Yeah, I think
Let's settle it with a sailboat race, shall we, gentlemen?
duels should come back. I'm down for that. Why are we all going to argue about this and pay lawyers for fucking 6 months?
That's a great point.
Let's duel.
Let's kill somebody.
Yeah, done. Easy. You know how I feel about corporal punishment. I'm here.
Overall,
it's funny how every time we get to this, Neil has any idea what we just talked about. I think overall might get dropped in the next 3 months.
I can't think of a single thing. Overall, make fudge for police officers.
Oh, God, I want to tell you that story as soon as it's over. Overall, that used to be what we were going to call this. We're glad we changed it to Good Boys.
Good Boys.
So that's it. I'm not doing more
Overall,
overalls.
I have black friends.
Overall, he does not, but he is a good boy.
Overall,
Overall.
thanks for listening.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.